Welcome, everybody, to the October 3rd Commissioner meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we've approved our minutes from the 19 September meeting. I'll entertain a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 19th as submitted. Second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. We've approved the accounts payable vouchers. I'll entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion, we approve the accounts payable vouchers.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
So would you tell me, would you whisper in my ear that I should do now?
Good payroll.
Yeah, so we don't have a copy right here, so we won't approve those. So next on the agenda is WTH partial split updates agreement. This one here?
Nope.
No?
Doesn't have.
Okay. So this is the same agreement we sign year after year?
It's every year. Last year was the first year that it had increased since, I believe, 2013. So, this is the second year of the increase. They provide a great service.
All that information if you want to be nosy, you can go figure it out.
Yeah, we use this a lot of times taxpayers call in and say, I don't think the math is correct. We reach out to them, we send them deeds, they remap it. So it's definitely worth it.
So this proposal is for $9,000 a year for the WTH contract for the GIS data that we have link off the website, and then will be used for much more important stuff than just.
This is for them drawing the parcels in.
Okay.
They do that portion for us. It's an addition.
Do just the map, right?
Yeah.
So I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement with WTH for $9,000 for the partial split updates.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the contract with WTH for the partial split updates agreement for $9,000 this year, coming year.
A second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. All right. He's standing up at the door. He's even in the door, so we'll let him. Do you want to go or?
Yep, that worked. I was reading over one other paper there real quick. Just my notes here. The first one on my list is the Samsara and geotabs. Jason presented some of the information on that at the last meeting. As far as the GPS data that would be available, I know that the safety of our crews, especially at night when we're out during the winter operations, it's kind of been definitely a lot of discussion about with the two-way radios and them not having a whole lot of reach a lot of times and not behaving properly, and the person might not be able to use the radio if it was a very bad wreck. At least that way at nighttime we would know where they were, so we kind of check on them without interrupting them. The dollar figures. Samsara and I have been in communications for probably 5 or 6 months, discussing this. My personal target date was around October to be able to make a decision on it. While I attended one of the other conferences up at Tippecanoe County, I met in person with geotabs up there, as they were another option as well. Their source flow pricing for all of the units looked like there was 37 units altogether that we were pricing, was gonna be $14,000 per year, $14,043. With Samsara, should be the same number of units or very close to it. Looks like I have 21 forward facing cameras, 15 gateway passages, so I might have a couple more on it. But their price was $11,089, and I'll leave off the change for Dave. Harrison County just recently did go ahead forward with contract with Samsara. They in the past had Verizon Connect, I think is what Kevin had told me when I talked with him. He was pretty excited about the services that Sam Sarah had. So with that, I was gonna see if we could move forward with that, but I also wanted to see if there was any ARPA funds that might be available to help with that initial cost. We won't be actually getting billed for that. I think I've got to push back, so we might have a little bit of a bill at the very end of the year that we could very easily delay into next year's budget if we need to.
We can check into where we get the funding. I think we can. If we can.
Anything would help.
Sure. So the Sam Sarah was just at 11,000.
Sam Sarah's $11,089 and change.
And you field tested these units, right?
We have 5 of
Some
those
of
that
them.
we had put in. One of them we just took out because we're planning to sell that truck. So they allowed us to demo those. They usually send out 1 or 2, and it's usually for about a 2-week period, and we were close enough. I kind of kept putting things off just a little while. Hi, Mason, I know you're gonna watch this, so I'll just go ahead and tell you hi so you can follow up. But so he did let us, you demo those for a little while longer than the normal, because he was providing a lot of service to us, trying to help us see all the techniques and all the technology that is available. I know one of the biggest things that Jason and I talked about in that fleet system that's included in all their GPS, when these vehicles have something that goes on, you have a check engine light comes on, it immediately notifies through an email of what it is. It's not technical enough that we can call up the shop and say, hey, we've got this code. Can you tell us exactly what it is? But it's descriptive enough, we can make the judgment call of whether or not we need to shut the truck off where it is, or if we can go ahead and keep running it until there's a good time to have it addressed and worked on. It's very helpful, and especially just knowing where they are at those given times, especially if it's in a snow event. It would track the routes of the things, like when the roads have been treated, when they've been plowed. So you could actually pull up the map and make sure nothing had been missed.
But it senses if that truck is idle and hadn't moved for a period of time, which seems suspect, right?
You can set up all kinds of geo fences on
So
those.
that would be a good, wonderful safety
It
aspect.
tracks, it tracks idle time, it actually tracks even the fuel usage if you want to get that detailed into it. It's pretty advanced.
I'm all about safety,
Yeah, and that helps with maintenance too.
right?
That's a good tool for maintenance. Now, I'm in favor of going ahead with it. I
Okay.
could make a motion that we go ahead with Sam Sarah for 11,089 and change.
If that works for your official motion.
11,090.
Yeah.
I'll second your motion.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Good. One of the other things, while we recently attended the AIC conference, I wasn't able to attend all of that, but I was able to get Pat Connor's presentation. I emailed that to you guys here in the last 30 minutes, so you've not had a chance to see that. There's about 36 pages. I'm not gonna read all 36 pages, but a few of the things that I thought was very noteworthy for public
Got a
information.
rough crowd in it.
You want me to go longer? I can't.
No, they
I
were
saw it
thanking,
short. I can fill
they
in
were
time.
thanking you for not, I would second that, but.
But the local agencies, we realize there's a lot of county roads. What most of us don't realize is we're actually responsible for 89% of the center line miles in the state of Indiana. So that is kind of an outstanding number. When
So the counties are,
Counties.
yeah, okay.
Counties, cities, towns,
I knew we had,
what they consider.
oh, I know, I thought you meant, never mind.
Okay.
I'm trying to make light of some stuff and you're not getting.
Those are
else
made
done.
of asphalt, concrete, unpaved. Then it kind of even breaks down in there the amount that they are. The presentation that Pat did was specialized on, are we gonna have paved roads or potholes by 2035? And a lot of that's gonna take a lot of proactiveness, and they even kind of broke down some of the budget numbers. I know you guys and the public hears me talk about PACER ratings a lot. What I really liked about Pat's presentation, on one page, he breaks down for the treatment the cost to treat the roads that are good roads, because a lot of times I'll get asked while we're chip and sealing certain roads, while we're crack filling certain roads, while we're not going over here and addressing the roads that's got major blowouts and major issues. If we treat from the top down, we can treat those good roads, which we finally have a lot more of, for between $1,000 and $7,500 per mile. If we wait until they're down to 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s, which are our critical roads, which are the roads that have a lot of potholes, have a lot of issues, the construction cost for those range from 150,000 to 1.5 million. So they get extremely expensive when they get to that point. So you kind of have, we could spend our entire budget on 1 or 2 roads, which seems completely crazy, but that is the reality. So with purchasing the melter that we've got, with having the current asphalt zipper and some of the things we've used, we're able to kind of do a lot of those things in-house for a lot cheaper than that. So I just wanted to earmark that we are doing a lot with that. The final numbers, because I told you I'd keep it short, so I'm gonna jump to the last page. But basically, the funding that was gonna be needed for all of these streets is over $1.5 billion over the next 10 years. The funding, as we know, is not coming in that way. I know I've worked with Heather a lot, and we've looked at the local roads and streets funds. We've looked at the MVH funds. We've looked at the gaming funds, Coon Bridge funds. They're all kind of dwindling. So I don't know that the wheel tax is an answer, but that's something that's gonna have to be a consideration, but some sort of an alternate source of income or revenue if we're gonna try to keep up with the maintenance of our roads and bridges. And kind of keep them at what I'm gonna call an acceptable standard, because I know when our phones are usually ringing, it's not on the 8s, 9s, and 10s, that top of that curve for our pace.
So it may be, after
It's on the
after
bottom.
you chip seal the.
And I'm not,
You get-
I'm not chip sealing a 9 or an 8,
Oh, okay,
because I'm only able to move those to an 8, but I'm usually targeting those 4s and 5s.
okay.
6s. And a lot of times they do kind of wonder why. So, one of the other techniques and practice that we were using and we were trying to improve, we recently had a grader training that we had Jackson Heavy Equipment come in and provide the training for, to kind of specialize first and foremost in safety and learn a lot more techniques that we can utilize the road grader, because they maintain a lot of their roads out in Nebraska. So we want to utilize as much of those services as we can. And some of those techniques were actually showing us how to kind of rebuild the road with what's naturally there, bringing in some of the soil and then top dressing it and bringing it in a strategic fashion, not just bringing it out and leaving the clumps of dirt in the road, making safety hazards instead of actual progress. Trying to limit a few more of those question marks. That was very good. Had about 10 guys that we got certified for grader training, even though we only technically have 4 operators. It's nice to have a backup plan, because it's kind of like the NFL, you know, they never stop recruiting. They never know who's going to be the next guy up. So that way we at least got a few more options for that. Bridge 6, got the bridge deck poured today. It looks a whole lot more like a bridge. It had already firmed up enough. I couldn't put my initials in it quick enough, so, but it'd be all right. I wouldn't put my initials in anyway. Somebody could throw more darts at it. The storms over the weekend, I know we had about 75 to 100 down trees that we had to basically go touch, remove, or do something, and that's not counting the ones that I'm sure a lot of volunteer firefighters and a lot of good people just got them out of the road when they could, where they could. So greatly appreciate those. The last thing I got is that total tank is installed, completely wired and all good. Buxton had their equipment there while they were doing the bridge replacements, because they had to remove the beams up there, and I let them stage the beams in the yard. They're going to come back and crush those beams where they are for them using our lot. Richard said he wouldn't charge me anything for setting that task. I told him I was great with that if he was, and very appreciative. Told him I'd pass that along to you guys. So with that, that's all I've got. If you guys have any questions for me, otherwise I'll get out of what.
Any questions? We do have an announcement to make, though. So, we had some applications, we did some interviews, and Jason Copeland will be the new highway superintendent.
Come on up, Jason.
He already got his,
Yes, I thank you.
got his trial by fire last meeting. Of course, little did he know it was a solar related meeting, so he had more of an audience than he ever thought he'd get.
I still got the short straw. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's a big step and big shoes to walk behind, so we're gonna try, you know.
You'll be fine.
bear with us for a little bit. So.
Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Let's see here, our new admin assistant is doing a fantastic job, picking up on it really quickly, and she's doing well up here, so it's been certainly has been good for us. Installation project, I'd say probably about 65% done. Stopped out there today, and they've got ground to the garage door on one full side, and so we got probably a third of the building left to get sprayed in. And then they'll get work on lights, stuff like that. They did finish up, do you remember, Jason, when they finished up over there, you guys, was it last week? Before last?
I believe the week before.
Yeah, so we're cruising right along there. The plan is to add a second garage door. They think they're gonna be able to fit it in straight across. Took the health department out, to take a look at that to make sure they were good with that. So that would be a good drive-through area for us if we have to do some, that's anything anymore. Have some people just come through. Roll on, so we don't have to set up tents and be out in weather, if it's, horrible weather conditions, all that stuff, we got some folks kind of inside. On the inside, I think that'd be a huge plus, should something like that happen, As Bobby already talked about the reports of trees down and stuff, there wasn't any home damage, anything like that was reported, that I'm aware of, or that dispatch is aware of. But man, we're busy, and again, thank goodness we'll take some down trees and got some stuff up and off, that's compared to what everybody else has done. SHSP grant, that's a Homeland Security, partnership grant. They denied our application. There was $165 million that was given out. And they had 145 applications, and I did the math minus the change. So I think if they just dealt everybody out $113,000, looks like what would have been, but they didn't. So we did that. The cap was 150, so. So we didn't, we got denied. And I put in for some counter drone stuff, for the events that we have. Those are pretty soft targets. And then, the power plant here was called out in a couple of different, intelligence reports that they're potentially going to be targets. Was talking with them, 2 weeks ago, or last week, went down to a tabletop exercise with them, and then we talked a little bit about that, all that business, and I've not really heard anything else from them about that since, so, hopefully we've forwarded that, or it might have been a good idea, and they decided maybe it's a bad idea now, so I'm hoping that's the case. We're finishing up with the reimbursement paperwork from the tornado response for all the public assistance money to come back, so, we just got a few receipts and some pictures, stuff like that to send to Indianapolis, and then they should send some money down for all of the public assistance, response, hours and equipment and all of that. Got a few responses, to fires, and a few to the park, since the last meeting. And today, or 2 days ago, I got a phone call from a friend of mine. He's running the drone operation in North Carolina, the response to the disaster down there. And he asked if we could bring the drone and the team down, or at least myself and the equipment down to come and help the effort. I've asked him to send us a formal request, just put it on paper and all that bit, and just sent that email out and a list of equipment we could bring to him, all that business. And I'm sure he'll be getting back with me. Suppose he has the opportunity at he sent me a message earlier today, said he was out there in supply, so he's probably still busy. But as soon as I get that, then I'll ship it to him. Yes, and so my plan would be, if not sooner, just leave on the 14th through the 18th. And rather than go to the emergency management conference in Indianapolis, I think it's probably best served to go down there and help the effort down that way. So. Yeah, that's all I have. See any questions?
Thanks. Brian?
I really don't have much. One thing I do want to talk about, you're already aware of it, but I just want to go ahead and get it on the record. Following up on the public meeting we had back in September on the grant modification, our request was approved, so we're moving from the revolving loan fund to just a straight up cash grant, so they were good with everything. Next steps to get a application made, and I gotta work with Oprah on that, because we're changing the program, but we gotta still stay true to the original intent of the program, so I'll know what that's gonna turn into, but so,
If
That's
you
the
can
next-
remember, did COVID impact?
yeah, I know, we're still on COVID, so hopefully we can get away from that, but we gotta still
Sure,
get back to
sure.
that somehow.
Understand.
Cause that's what the money is, federal money, and that's what it was designated for. So yeah, so just working on the application for that, and once we get that all set up and approved with them, we'll get the word out, and we will get a hold of Bob to help us, get the word out to the small business owners in the county, and we'll get some money out there. And, one other thing, just quickly, we have, Matt Rowe from Charter with us tonight. He just wanted to stop and say hi. Don't really have anything to talk about, I don't think, other than he just wanted to introduce himself. If you want to do that now, or we can talk later, whatever you.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I can use your 15 seconds now or after it's over with.
Go ahead.
So like Brian said, Pat from Charter Spectrum, I know we have some current builds going on in the county. We were just awarded a couple of additional projects coming up, and I know that we're waiting on the state to sign everything on that. And so started in January, so I'm making the rounds here, so I'm still fairly new. But just wanted to introduce myself. So if there's any issues, questions, whatnot, I know Brian sends me a lot of work and keeps me busy on that end, and he's been great to work with. So I'll leave you all my contact information. So if there's anything that we can do, just let me know.
These two new projects are where,
Part of Next Level Connections 4.
I mean, areas with, you know.
I can show you those, but like I said, the state, we're still waiting on the state to sign off on that.
Oh, okay, I see.
And
Okay.
coming from government, I know how government can kind of change things in the last minute. So,
Okay, I understand now.
So, yeah, we can definitely show you guys what that looks like, but we're
Okay.
excited to be down here, so. All right,
Thanks.
Thank you.
thank you.
Think anybody else? You want me to make it or do you want to make it? No. No, yeah, well, I mean, you usually make an announcement about the RDA meeting, which is tomorrow at 10 o'clock and.
The RDA meeting is tomorrow. We were going to cancel, but then we got pretty full agenda. Still have not gotten back the economic,
Evaluation.
impact statements yet from IEDC, so there will be no announcements about projects and so on for that, but we have pretty full agenda tomorrow, thanks to that. I was saying we got a grant for $100,000, which I assume all the RDAs got, but we had to select a consultant, IEDC approved consultant to do that, to make that award, so that's one of the things that is on our table. And I would also like to thank Bobby for all the work he's done here in Jefferson County. Been a good person to work for. I'm sure you're gonna miss him, but you've got an able-bodied person behind this, will do a great job too.
Sure.
Do you have anything?
I'll probably get on the schedule for next meeting, but, the task force, last meeting, we discussed, the resolution and just waiting on you guys to have that conversation. Let the task force know what next steps are to, making everything official. And, yeah, I guess they were also, any of that ARPA money that the county has set aside for broadband, like years ago, I think 2021, you guys had made a bucket or something, that they were wanting to do a digital inclusion project before, that money gets used elsewhere. So, we'll be bringing forth a project proposal, I think, once the resolution front kind of gets worked out more, just so that they know, like, the terms. So, just a heads up on that, but I'll be on schedule for the next meeting to give more details. But yeah, if y'all could, just have some feedback for the resolution, in the time in between since I last came and presented that, just have some feedback for them on, or, if you want any changes or if you are okay with what was given to you in the draft. That's about it. So,
Yeah, sometimes you gotta remind us of those things.
yeah, I know, y'all are busy a lot, so
No.
take your time. Take your time.
I do remember.
I actually have something. I have something to say. We are planning our employee Christmas party, so I'm asking for approval to shut the courthouse down. December 6th. And normally you guys let us close for lunch from like 11 to 2 to give everybody that extended period of time to hang out and have fun.
We actually have a commissioner meeting on
We have a meeting that day, so you guys will already be here in town, so that means you have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the agenda will be very short that day.
Now you know how the agendas are set up.
11 minutes, right?
And then, me and Heather White have really been trying to bring a lot of the county departments together. Cause everybody has just been so distant, you know, we're all spread around the county, essentially, like all the different buildings or not just downtown. So over the past few years, we've really tried to just kind of bring everyone together and, tomorrow is our deadline for our Halloween door contest. So if you want to come to the courthouse, there's lots of decorated doors. Dispatch has participated, health department. I'm trying to get the highway department to do a little door. But we've just been really trying. So it's been fun. It has
Got some
been.
old oil, you can kind of run that across, let it run down the.
We got all kinds of.
Run it.
Something broken.
Well, you could add that too, that at the bottom of the door, oil down the.
Yeah, so if you are, you know, if you're out and about, stop in and look at the doors. Everybody's worked hard on them this week. It's been fun. And we definitely want the highway department to come to our employee Christmas party this year. We've been really trying to throw the bait out for the guys to come.
Oh, now she's doing it in an open meeting.
Yeah.
The health department, they came last year. It was their first time they came, so, in a long time, so they had a really good time. We just really wanna.
Same place.
Same place, yeah. Same place, same time, as long as y'all approve it.
Wasn't till 6, but, you know.
One, one quick thing I forgot. In the next few months, when you talk to your state reps and state senator, put in a plug for Ready 3.
Sure,
We want the program to continue. It's been very successful and, you know, with the change in the gubernatorial status, there's a lot of uncertainty,
sure,
but the legislature's been very good to us, but we want to continue them.
they may want to change the name.
I don't care, let them
Well,
change the
you
name.
know, governors like their own.
That's all right.
You know.
But if you have that opportunity, put in
Sure,
a good word for Ready 3, because you guys have been very supportive of that and we're on our way. Until we spend Ready 2 money, as I told you.
ready to.
Ready 1.
You gotta
we
spend
can't
ready 1 so
spend
we
Ready
can.
2 money.
Until we
Until
spend
Ready 1 money, we're at 57% of what we need to spend. We have to have 66%. So before we even can allocate any Ready 2 money. But we're leading in the state, the number of
Spend.
money that has been spent, so we're grappling with that. That's a big problem we have. But I
That's
assume
like
everybody
it's, yeah,
has.
that's not like it's just yours, it's.
But
Wow,
Who'd have thought the government has?
really have trouble spending money.
because he's already said, well, you can just give the money to us, but it doesn't work that way. We've got to get these projects on the ground, going, moving. Big projects with big money.
With big support, we can go even that far, even one more step further. Maybe that's in time for another. There's probably a phone call to get the money, so maybe that's time for a phone call to get them to spend the money now.
But
Sorry, too much inside information there.
thank you.
Yeah. You have anything?
No. We gotta do a motion on that for the courthouse, do we have to or not?
Probably should, just.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we allow Sarah to close the courthouse on December the 6th at 11 to 2 o'clock for the county employee highway county employee Christmas party.
I second.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye.
Thank you.
We're gonna,
Thank you.
we're gonna make you sweat. We come up like to the. No. we
Oh,
won't.
and then I have
Oh.
something else, sorry. Christy Risk and Ginger Wicker have decorated outside the courthouse for Halloween. There's pumpkins
Cool.
and spiderweb, so thanks to those girls.
Yeah.
Spider. You got everything. So,
Heather's not saying anything? Okay.
I have nothing.
Alright. I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Whoa, do you have anything?
no, he said no.
Oh,
Come
I
on,
just-
man, you're
I
jumping.
just- Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just
He's
wanted to-
jumping the gun.
Especially thank the county highway and sheriff's department for last Friday because it was a nightmare. Those
Yeah.
guys went all day long and they get one cleaned up and another call come in, so. And for the county officers to carry chainsaws in their cars says a lot, so kudos to them. Do we want to talk about that or not?
Well, we can talk about it.
Okay. That's all right, that's all I got, I'll be quiet.
No, you're fine. Um. The proposals for the animal shelter are due on the 18th of October, so we'll have another meeting before then, but those will be coming in, we'll get a chance to look. And I've gotten a few guys gotten copies off the website, so others than other architect firms than the ones that we had originally sent them to are showing some interest, so there'll be some good competition. I think that's about it. There was a 3.5 hour BZA meeting on Tuesday. It didn't get finished, so it moved it to the 7th of November for the remaining people who had signed up to have a chance to speak. So, but that's on the solar project in Saluda Township, so they're still pretty good. Discussion. It's interesting. It is a very divisive issue. And so we'll see what people keep calling us, asking us to tell us what they think and that we should vote no. I hate to tell them that we have no vote. The only vote we had in the process was approving the ordinance. And then it's up to the Board of Zoning Appeals to make their determination based on the process, and that's the way it should be. So, it's interesting sometimes that people feel that commissioners have certain powers. I'm not sure they really want us to have those kinds of powers. It's I don't know. I don't want those kind of.
I'm glad I don't in this situation.
Well, yeah, that or,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes, you know, we get these nuisance complaints. Why don't you just go on their property and take it off? I'm like, I don't know that you want us to go and start doing that to people. You know, I don't like the color of your, I'm gonna, no. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so that's the update there. We have received a draft of the stormwater ordinance. I'll we'll get that looked at and get it back. Any comments that we might have, but we should get that wrapped up here. Not till it's been a too drawn out process, but we'll get it finished. So, and that, I don't have anything else.
My turn now. Let me try it again.
All right.
Yeah, stop. Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second your motion.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Thank you for coming.